Carl Hogan, co-owner on that team, very racy guy as well. He really loved especially the IndyCars.
Bobby Rahal really acting smart. For example, he just let Emerson Fittipaldi go a little while ago. He let Eddie Chiva get away from him. Even though they get back on the same lap, he's not worried. There's only a few laps left. That is being a smart driver.
In the last 11 races at Phoenix, 10 different drivers have won. Only Rick Mears has won twice. Bobby Rahal has won this race before. He may be the only other person soon to have won this race twice in the last 11 years. Quite an achievement.
Got a glimpse here of Chip Ganassi as we come onto the white flag lap. Chip watching Eddie Cheever, his driver, but Chip is a full 22 seconds behind as the white flag comes out for Bobby Rahal. And Bobby Rahal is about to go into the records book with a flag-to-flag win in the Valvoline 200, his 21st career win. That car's not going anywhere now, and certainly is a causal factor of the accident. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Oh, the only radio conversation, he said, it just spun around on me. It just spun around. Great frustration again for Michael Andretti.
So Bobby Rahal now working on the final lap of this race and running all alone, a good 10 seconds ahead of Rahul Boycell, who runs in second place. Johansson runs third. And there's Carl Hogan hoping his car makes it around.
Yes, well, he certainly is. And another thing on Michael's deal is a real good chance that that right front folded from the previous accidents, and that's what caused Michael to spin.
And look at the leader of the race, Bobby Rahal, with nothing in front of him and very little behind.
This will be his second victory of the year, and it will extend his points lead dramatically because none of the people that were pursuing him in the points have done well today.
Second time in a row we've seen Sandy Andretti with that shy smile while her husband is out of the race. You can't tell if it's sadness that he's out or happiness that he's out and safe. Bobby Rahal now working on the final lap, just a few hundred feet to go as the crowd begins to applaud along the sidelines. And Bobby Rahal accelerates now, looking ahead toward the checkered flag, and there it is. Bobby Rahal has taken the win here in Detroit. Rahal now begins to pick the pace up. You see now as Michael Andretti reaches down, grabs a gear, and they accelerate into the green flag.
He's a bit too far behind him to make that outside charge, but I wouldn't put it past Michael. Here we go again. He's on the high line. He's on the high line, but he's not close enough this time.
Michael likes it up there. He tries it again, but Rahal comes wide too as he comes off the corner. Moving down into the third turn. Now into turn number 4. Michael Andretti still chasing Rahal. Rahal well out in front by a full mile, though, and trying to power his way on to victory as the white flag comes out. One more lap to go for Bobby Rahal. Michael Andretti not really going to take a chance on it now. He knows it's way too far. No sense getting alongside Rahal and having any problem with it.
And Rahal particularly good through 3 and 4. That's where he draws away from Michael. He is safe.
So Bobby Rahal takes a look at the twin checkered flags and is the winner, the very first winner ever here in New England as they dump a load of cool water on Carl Hogan. But boy, are they happy. The rest of the field comes across. Rahal just ripped a lap off at 175.3 miles an hour. That is the fastest lap thus far in this race by any competitor. 2 laps to go for Rahal. Traffic holds him up a bit, but not very long. Doesn't hold Michael very long either as he squeezes to the outside of Hiromatsusta.
Not enough traffic to help Michael. There's 10 car lengths between himself and Rahal. That is too much as you see the white flag.
1 lap to go for Bobby Rahal. Will he be able to move himself back into the points lead? He's looking so strong here now. The checkered flag awaits him. Michael Andretti in a last desperate drive on the backstretch to catch Bobby Rahal. But Michael Andretti appears to be totally behind the 8 ball as it's Bobby Rahal that takes the win.
He faced the white flag this time by. Brian Herta stretching it out a little bit here. A 1:13.3 to a 1:13.6. Herta over Zanardi. Now what he's got to pay attention here, do not make a mistake. And in those spots where I can possibly get past, I am not going to leave that door open for Alex Zanardi. It has been such a tough year for Brian Herta. He has been to the brink of this first victory so many times.
And on the radio to Herta, the instruction, don't look back.
He's pulling away a little bit. Gary, he's doing everything right here. He's making all the right moves. He's putting in great laps. He's got a little bit of a gap. Sorry, Bob. Top of the hill, Zanardi drops back slightly. Is he planning something? Or does he just have nothing up his sleeve for Bryan Herta? They've got one critical out-braking spot right down here. Bryan has got to make sure he keeps that door closed for Alex Zanardi. Here it goes to the inside. Turn 11. Alex, he counters him perfect. Zanardi on the power off the corner. Squirming under acceleration to try to catch Bryan Herta, but he will not be able to. First career win for Bryan Herta, and well earned.
He's dominated, and he's done it once again.
Last lap, no mistakes here, babe.
Bobby Rahal talking to Bryan Herta. And remember, Bryan Herta's future is very uncertain right now as well. This is going to go a long way to helping him close a deal for next year, but the indications have been for several races now that the likelihood of him being back in this car driving for Bobby Rahal seems to be slim.
There are only a handful of drivers in the world that compete at this level. The openings are few. These drivers are not only driving for position, but literally their careers, their futures. On that last lap, Bryan Herta pulled out another 0.3 of a second on Roberto Moreno. This is so important to his future. You know that he's pushing hard, but he can't afford to make a mistake. He just has to come down the hill now, get around the last corner, and then look for that checkered flag. A huge weight will come off of Bryan Herta's shoulders and hopefully open some doors for next year.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer man. Bryan Herta, a full mile an hour faster on the last lap. Looking now for his second career win. And first back-to-back winner at Laguna Seca since Paul Tracy did it in 1993 and 4.
Beautiful, Bryan. Beautiful job. Dominating. Last lap, Max.
Moreno is right there. They go to the last lap.
He's got to keep this car in clean air down inside Fontana, which he's doing.
Roberto Moreno in second place. Max Papis is the leader, looking for his first win. Moreno is looking for a way to spoil it and pick up his first win. A rookie ahead of both of them. Little bit of tiptoeing here. You want to make sure there are no mistakes coming to the line. And Max Papis has done it. Oh, goodbye. One more lap to go for Kenny Bräck.
A perfect restart. Kenny had them all covered. And finally, after leading so many times, I think, Paul, this will be his day, and Ford will win once again at Honda's home track. Honda dominating all weekend long, but here comes Kenny Bräck.
Oh, the real glory goes to Kenny Bräck. The young Swede makes the final set of turns and charges for that checkered flag. Congratulations to Kenny Bräck. He wins in his 24th start in the series. Rahal and Letterman. Scott Repke accepts the congratulations for helping engineer that win. Rahal and Letterman's team have taken the victory. What can you imagine the frustration Michael Andretti's feeling? Fortunately for him at least, Scott Dixon is sitting almost a full straightaway back and not able to mount a charge on Andretti.
Well, you mentioned Mario Andretti. Mario gave Lola its first ever championship car win in 1983 at Elkhart. If Kenny Bräck hangs on here, it would be the 100th victory 18 years later for Lola.
Kenny Bräck has just taken the checkered, or the white flag, one lap until the checkered flag, one lap until the 100th for Lola. World News tonight, Sunday, is coming up right after the race. We're running very tight on time here in Milwaukee. Kenny Bräck comes off the corner, looks for the checkered flag, and there's two in a row for Kenny Bräck. Kenny Bräck.
White flag, this time by
of Max Papis. Looked like it developed a...
Christian, no pressure.
It's like the blister lines.
A wear line there, yeah. Keep an eye on that. On the final lap now. White flag is out, one to go. The clock counting down. It is absolutely a timed race, officially notified about 9 minutes ago to all the teams, though that was no surprise. Behind Max Papis, who has pulled out another 10th on Roberto Moreno, is Fittipaldi, Wilson, Carpentier, Franchitti, Dixon, Andretti, all very close together.
Max Wilson has finished in 4th place. For a small team, this will be as good as a victory. Fittipaldi, I'm afraid, will just not have enough track or time to catch and then challenge Moreno. And Max Papis headed for his first road course victory in the Kart Series, his 2nd overall. A perfect drive for Team Rahal, for the Letterman team.
And for Max Papis, who won in Miami, now looks for his 2nd career win. And it comes in his 86th start. Checkered flag ahead. He's still going to go over and cool him off.
We kick the ass again. We are the king. We are the king.
Bräck moves around Bruno Junqueira. That's the traffic, and now there's plenty of it in front of him. 2 to go.
He's had some bad luck the last few races. This is exactly the kind of race he needed to extend his championship lead.
+5.
Still managing fuel as he comes to the white flag. Kenny Bräck, 1 lap to go. Looking for his 3rd career win. Bräck on the backstretch. Battle for 2nd place. Remains about the same. Carpentier, DeFerrin, and Dixon. Kenny Bräck on the front stretch. And Kenny Bräck has taken it.
I would suspect you're going to have to run, Gary, because you're going to be in there fairly quickly. Bräck picks up the lead. Oh, and Zanardi, with a terrible crash. Yellow is out. Zanardi coming out in turn 1. Loses control of the car. Bräck, as we suggested, took the win of the race with his teammate Max Papis finishing in 2nd and pulling up alongside. White flag flies for Max Papis. Gidley climbs the hill with him. Now what can Gidley do?
He lost a 1/10 of a second on that lap, but as I was saying, when you're in this position, you might give up just a little bit under braking, maybe a little bit in cornering speed, to absolutely ensure that the exit of the corners every single time are absolutely perfect. You want to make sure that you don't fall under attack, under braking at the end of these short straightaways. So Max Papis now making sure every exit is absolutely as perfect as possible. Now, the most difficult corner on the circuit, turn number 6 coming up. It's blind on entry. This is where Herta made a small mistake a few years ago, allowing Alessandro Zanardi to get that great run-up and complete the pass. But Max does it absolutely perfectly. Now, just down the hill, a few more upshifts, a left, right, left combination, and Max Papis will have victory number 3 in the Kart Series.
Max Papis. Boy, did they play the strategy dead perfect today. Of course, the numerous yellows figured into it. Final turn.
Is out, brother. King again. We are the king again, guys. We are the king. We are the best. Good job, Max. Good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. Good job. Really proud of you.
That's a Queen version I never heard. And he blows the stats all the heck, Paul. No one's ever started this race farther than from 6 and 1.
Did Jimmy move too soon? Should he have waited to the last lap?
I don't think so.
White flag is out.
Jimmy's got this race in hand right now.
Vassar, Andretti.
Down through turn 1 and 2, exiting 2.
That's Oriol Servia on the lapped Vistillon car in 3rd place, then Patrick Carpentier 3rd on the timesheets, but he is not in it. It's Vassar and Andretti with less than a mile to go. Jimmy Vassar timed it perfectly, it would appear, holding the low line, drifting out to the wall. He will become the first 2-time winner of the 500 presented by Toyota. The next car they might come upon, 2 laps remaining. Walter Salas is on the middle of the backstretch as Michel Jourdain Jr. is in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Bobby Rahal cannot bear to look. Next time by, the white flag.
One left to a career fiesta for Michel Jourdain, but the pursuers are drawing closer.
These guys are right on top of each other. Michel, a little bit advantage, but not much. Servia, Patrick Carpentier, Manning, Tagliani.
Servia's coming.
The top four will be very close together at the finish.
Servia's coming.
Servia's coming.
Carpentier's coming. Manning.
I don't think they'll do it. They will not. Michel Jourdain Jr. has his victory.
Way to go, Michel.
Watch your outside.
As we head for the white flag, let's get a word from Jimmy Vasser with Calvin Fish.
Oh, I try to get around here and nip around. Jimmy talking to the team manager, Graham Taylor. Jimmy, tough day for you, mate. Celebrating your 200th start. How was the car? What put you out?
The car was reasonable, and then the gearbox was sticky on the down changes early, and then it just deteriorated real quick at the end, and didn't really have anything in the box. Who's winning this thing?
Well, you got Jourdain up front, PT fourth, I believe.
Good. I'm happy for Michel. Too bad for what happened to Tags.
Tag just got held up with the fuel strategy, but he had a strong run today. Let's go back up top, looking for that checkered flag, Bob.
Thank you, Calvin. The battle continues between Servia and Carpentier, but it appears there will be no Canadian victor here on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve again in 2003. Less than half a lap to go as Michel Jourdain looks for his second career win and second of the season. His first ever on a road course, however, and the 16th win for Team Rahal. Ooh, Tagliani and Tracy. That for fourth place. I understand Tracy may be tight on fuel, which would explain the big gap up to Carpentier in third. But at this point, one corner remains for Michel Jourdain as he brings it onto the straightaway, and the Gigante driver is truly giant today in Montreal. Tracy is out of fuel. Tagliani will take fourth. Here comes Dominguez to take away fifth.
Now think of the spot that the officials are going to be in, and the burden rests on the shoulders of the senior official, which is Bryan Herta, who, if you've been with us this entire day, you've met several times today. And the question he will have to answer is really, what is rain? And then if it does rain, do I go to red and checkered, or do I let it run out in yellow for a while? Now don't forget, tonight, following the Indy 500 coverage, yellow comes out, America's Funniest Home Videos, Extreme Makeover, the Home Edition, and Line of Fire. On the West Coast, you'll see everything at their regular scheduled time. So they've made the call. The caution has come out. Dave Letterman is sensing the possibility that they may be winning the Indy 500. It depends. There's Buddy's dad, Buddy Rice's father. Oh, come on, Rain, stay here. Bobby Rahal. Terrific year as Buddy Rice, Honda-powered Firestone shot, wins the Indianapolis 500 for Bobby Rahal and Dave Letterman. His first win in his IRL career. There couldn't be a better moment. Of course, when you look down the top 10 as everybody strings across the line, it would have been a great moment for any one of those names. But right now, the celebration goes to the Rahal Letterman team.
That reminder, teammate. Not just another car, teammate on your outside. Very important right now.
Still outside. Go get ahead of him. He's on your right rear. Still outside. Still outside.
Still undecided. Buddy came off of 2 a little bit better. Now they thunder into turn 3. Final 2 corners in this run here, and it's still a question mark. Vitor Mira drops back just a bit. Now he pulls up alongside and at the line. Mira. Now Rice. At first the computer gave us Mira, and then it gave us Rice. Whoa!
Way to rip it up, buddy. That's a good job.
IRL's done it again. Another fantastic finish.
Rice goes back around. He has a short way around.
Was he just playing with him? Was he just letting him go around just to make...
White flag contact. There was contact right there. Did I not see something about first car?
It looked like something flew up the racetrack right there. I agree with you. I'm not sure. Maybe it was something that was already on the racetrack.
Last lap. This is it. Can Rice hang on? Can Rice hold him off? Now we have to watch for blocking, but you know, Kanon's the master of blocking, so down the backstretch.
He's moved to the outside. We'll see if he's got anything. I don't think so. I don't think he can do this. Rice, unless he runs out of fuel here in the last few hundred feet.
Rice is going to win it. Rice takes the victory, the third of the year.
No reason to bang the curves, stretch it to the max, because all you got to do is look at that flag there, and then remember that one more time. And
white flag's out, plus 2.5. Bring it home, nice and smooth.
Down into turn number 1 for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
If you just think of the emotions inside that cockpit right now, Marty, once he gets up through the S's down the backstretch, very tough to focus sometimes. That's why he's getting the instructions from the team. Just keep your focus. They understand that what a first win can mean to a driver and the emotions he's going through on the very last lap.
When this day started, we thought we might be renaming this place Dixon International Raceway, because he certainly was the man to beat, going for 4 straight here at Watkins Glen. What it is turning out is to be a first-time win for Ryan Hunter-Reay if he can negotiate the last few turns down into turn number 7. All he has to do is keep it on the pavement. It is Manning, Kanon, Rice, and Marco Andretti as your top 5, but the man of the moment is Ryan Hunter-Reay. Through turn 8 for the last time. Total of 3 more turns. The left-hander on turn 9. It'll be the 4th career win for Rahal Letterman Racing, and the first since Buddy Rice, can you think of this, 2004 back at Michigan. It'll be the 3rd open wheel win for Ryan Hunter-Reay. But as he comes to the stripe at Watkins Glen, it'll be the first IndyCar Series win for Ryan Hunter-Reay at the Glen.
That's my boy. Good job, Ryan. Good job.
Graham Rahal does a great job coming to the front. And for Graham Rahal, this is going to change everything, Davey. And for James Jakes, he is out of the car. So for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, you know, this is kind of the definition of sweet and sour. They have obviously a very good result with Graham Rahal winning this heat, but they destroy a car in the process. And Davey, you're right. That was a very hard lick as James Jakes made contact with the rear of the car first. Graham Rahal returns to pit lane. The winner of heat race number 2, he and Ed Carpenter, will transfer.
4 miles will decide this race. Up high is Marco Andretti and Sage Karam. Here they come. Andretti was one of those ones on fresh tires.
Fresh tires, momentum off of the restart. They were up and running and up to speed when they caught the lead group. Andretti coming on the high side, cutting to the bottom.
Watch this, down low, and Rahal closes the door.
That's where you've got to be, Marco. That's where you've got to be. You've got those fresh tires, but not in the middle of the track. You've got to dive down low. You've seen what Briscoe could have done.
This is it. 1 lap. Oh, there goes Ryan Hunter-Reay and Ryan Briscoe, and Briscoe flies. Briscoe flips and flies. On the grass, the 2 Ryans came together. And that's a very abrupt end to what was a terrific day for Ryan Briscoe. He gives both thumbs up. Wow. So caution and checkers. Caution and checkers at the same time for Graham Rahal, who ends a 125 race drought. It's his 2nd career victory.
Much like the result at Fontana, you could argue several things, but you can't argue his pace as the white flag comes out for Graham Rahal.
1 lap to go. 2.2 miles for the 26-year-old American Graham Rahal. His dad won here 30 years ago. You remember calling David Donahue across the line at the Rolex 24 at Daytona 30 years after his late father Mark won. It means so much. And I remember here, not so long ago, a couple of years ago, Bobby saying, do you know what? Everyone always calls Graham a 2nd-generation racer. He said, you know, my dad raced. Graham is a third-generation racer. It is in the Rahal family blood. But this young man is a sports guy. He's not just a car guy. He loves football. He loves The Ohio State University. He's a terrific golfer. He's an all-round sportsman. He's an all-round athlete. But today could be the most memorable day in his life. A Rahal wins at Mid-Ohio. It's Graham's turn. Graham Rahal victorious at his home track.
This is going to get really, really close. These guys are almost wrecking. Last lap.
1.5 miles to go. Hinchcliffe is still in front. Rahal behind him, edging just in front of Kanaan. Here's Pagano. Those four on the lead lap, racing for the win. Rahal down to the bottom. Rahal to the front around. Graham Rahal has taken the lead on the final lap. Can Hinchcliffe battle back? Kanaan still in the mix. Rahal and Hinchcliffe to the line. Graham Rahal has won at Texas Motor Speedway on the last lap pass.
An illustration of him having speed as he comes to take the white flag and start the last lap at Detroit, the last road course race on the road course circuit at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Graham Rahal started deep in the field. He started 20th and finished 6th. You do that, yeah, a little by strategy, but mostly by having a good race car, driving the wheels off it, and passing cars.
Well, and the other thing that's really impressive is that this usually, with the exception of this weekend and last week in Indianapolis, is a single-car team going against the powerhouses like Penske, like Andretti, and like Ganassi that have 3 or 4 cars on their teams to get information, data, and make the cars better, especially on a street circuit like this that you don't get a chance to test at. That's the impressive thing that I see right now with Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing, and Graham Rahal.
But this racetrack does that every now and again. It has surprise winners, and it's nice to see Rahal's team get right back in front where they need to be. Obviously, qualifying in pole made his job a lot easier today.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call him a surprise winner though. He has been so strong last year as a single car team, and this year he's done an astounding job.
Final 2 corners. 7th different winner in 7 races this season for the Verizon IndyCar Series, and career win number 5 to Graham Rahal at Detroit. Coming to the white flag, Graham Rahal 1 lap away from a weekend sweep. Final lap here in Detroit.
Highway flag. You're 8 tenths faster than Newgarden. Good gap.
And Alan, you mentioned a Rahal sweep. It's also, if he gets to the finish line first, a Honda sweep here in Detroit, Chevy's hometown.
Down the long backstretch, down the Strand.
Yeah, at the straightaway is really the last place that Newgarden had a good chance of passing him, but he's way too far back. Rahal's using every inch of the road.
Talked about this being a double points weekend and the impact this might have on the championship. Graham Rahal came into the weekend 15th in the championship. He's going to leave in 6th place. Newgarden without enough. Checkered flag will be waving. Final couple of corners, and a sweep in the Motor City waits as Graham Rahal takes the checkered flag in the 2nd of the Detroit Grand Prix doubleheader races.